Hello, boys and girls of YouTube. Well, if you saw my other videos, if you didn't, I do an event called Drag Week. And this year, for 2020, like many things, because of, let's just say, something that we did not expect happened, it was canceled. So, gave me more time to figure stuff out because I had an issue with this car. Again, if you saw some of my videos in 2019, I tried to get this thing going with fuel injection. I should have just thrown a carburetor back on it, but I'm stubborn. I wanted to get it with fuel injection on it. So anyway, I got it running, didn't run great. Wound up that the signal wire for the RPM to the ECU had a lot of noise in it. So I fixed that this year for 2020. I also had a pretty bad vacuum leak and a pretty bad oil leak on the back of the block, and I think that's because of the vacuum leak. Where I think things were leaking were really, well, let me see if I can get you in here. Right here. For some reason, I don't think it's sealing up well on that side because, again, I'm using that one example because when I did have it running, it was running lean, and I have the gauge on that side, and the number 5 exhaust port was pretty much cherry red. So that kind of leads me to believe that cylinder was running a little lean. All right, maybe a little bit more than lean. So, and also, if you didn't know, I've got a little, let me scoot over here, little mini supercharger that throws some boost through that manifold. It's upside down because I'm trying to line up the gaskets. That's a whole nother story. And I think it was blowing into the motor and was blowing through the back rail. Some people call them channel rails. Let's see if I zoom in. If you see that little blue fitting, that's for the oil, but that rail right there was leaking pretty bad. So I think the boost was going through that leak, and the RPM was tacking up to, at one point, I think it was like 4,000. And believe me, the butterflies were shut. Well, let me take that back. On the throttle body, the rear butterfly was cracked, I'd say a little bit. Basically the arm for the butterflies was actually hitting the gasket of the between the throttle body and the top of the blower. It was hitting that gasket and cracked it open just a little bit, but there's no way that could have been enough to tack it that high. So I'm thinking something else is up. So let's go swing back around here. Excuse the disaster, but this gasket is a little thicker than normal. I think that's going to help me seal this manifold to those heads. I'm not sure why it would be leaking, but when I put a straight edge on this, and it's pretty good. Technically in 2017, I did have a problem, and I did lift the cylinder head and blew a head gasket, and it wasn't outside, but I did take the heads in to get them all checked out, and they checked out fine. They actually did take a little bit off just to be 100% sure, and the guy said it was like nothing, like a dusting. So it was pretty straight. So I'm still not sure what the problem is, but anyway, that's where I'm at. So I gotta get this manifold back on. I've got some stuff to hopefully seal it if it is something just not sealing in the back, because maybe it's not really related to a vacuum leak and I'm just getting paranoid and there really is a vacuum leak somewhere else. But anyway, on the China rail, we've got this stuff. It's called the right stuff. We're going to see if that works on that back. I've heard good things about it. So let's see what happens. I'm going to seal the hell out of that back. I also hear once you put this thing on, if you ever have to get the manifold off, it's not that easy. Well, again, I'm just going to put it on the back. The front's going to be normal black RTV. So hopefully if I ever do have to take it off with the black RTV, I'll be able to, just kind of get something in there and pry it up a little bit and should hopefully come right off. I also did spray the intake gasket with a little copper gasket down by the ports just to make sure, give that little extra added protection. Shouldn't hurt anything at all. It's not like it's RTV around the ports, so it shouldn't have any problem. So that's where I'm at. Hopefully I'll be able to get this thing done, get it running. I've actually got the week off. I'm actually going to try to get this thing running, so let's see what happens. So stay tuned. Talk to you later.